If you have any doubt in any part, you are free to ask me any type of question. Okay, the basic thing I just want to do with you, Daru, you have to have a proper idea about each and every chapter. Okay, so we are starting with the chemical basics of life for the English medium. Basically, first of all, when I'm starting the science subject, the thing you have to have a good mindset. You should think that you can do this. Okay, you don't want to fear for any subject, but you have to work hard for yourself. You have specific time period right now. So the thing is, you have to divide your time well and take the maximum out of the time that you have right now. And if you have any doubts, if you can't understand any point, I'm there to explain it. If you request, I can explain it more than 10 times. No offense in my side. The thing that I'm requesting is to take a good idea. If you have the basic solid, or if you have the base very permanently, very strongly, you can build a house. You can build a flat also. But if you don't have the theoretical knowledge correctly or the perfect way, you can't understand the process or procedures of that. So the first thing, before I'm going to start any chapter, any lecture, so my basic request, you have to focus, 100% focus. That's why I compulsory almost all the students to log and turn on the cameras. If there are any issues, no offense in my side, but if you are able to overcome that issue, definitely you have to turn on the cam and continue in focusing. In that sense, I can understand. If you go anywhere now, I will ask you questions and just to clarify, just okay. Other than that, no need to get stressed in my class. I'm also a student like you a few years ago. Now I'm also studying. Okay, I'm a university student, final year student in University of Sri Jayawardhanapura, doing a special degree. So no offense. Okay, I'm also in your position few years ago. I know the things that in your mind and how the students escape in from the teachers. Almost all the things are open for me also. So I have the experience. No offense. Don't take any stress. Be relaxed and take the maximum from this. Daru, if we get stressed for the exam, we can't reach for that. So first of all, you have to create a good mindset that you can gain something. If you are stressed, if you fear to the exam, you just waste the present time also. So now don't get stressed. Try to maximize yourself. Try to gain 1 mark. So that will give you some sort of confidence. So let's move to the first chapter. And if you have any point, any doubts at any point, just clarify it from me. First one, Daru, I will quickly go through this, okay? So there are about 25 elements in living body. Basically, when we go through the periodic table, in the modern periodic table, now there are 115 elements. But the periodic table that they have given to you is, normally there are close to 100 elements in your periodic table because it is bit older, right? About modern one that now there are more than 115 elements. So basically in here they explain in the nature there are 92 elements. From that 25 elements can be seen in our living body. Is it clear? So in that sense, the thing that you want to understand is there are 92 elements, but almost all the elements are not finding in living bodies. What are the living bodies? There are 2 types of living bodies. What are they? Animals as well as plants. That are the living things. Yeah, animals as well as plants. So the basic unit of living is cell. Okay. The basic unit for the structure is atom. You have to remember those points also. The basic or the structural unit of living body is cell. So each and every one of us, each and every plant consists from cells. When you divide it into small parts, finally it comes with a cell. Okay, I write down the first point here. So as we request, if there are any connection issues, please let me know, and I will upload this to YouTube, and then you can watch it at any sense and take a clear idea about it. Is it okay with you right now? Clear, Nether?
Okay, sir.
Yeah, good. Let's write down. Send me your notes also just after the class. Is it okay with you? Do you have the ability? I know that there are some VPN connection issues. If you have overcome that problem, please send me the photos of the note also, because I'm expecting that then I can evaluate yourself. If you done any wrong thing or mistake in the note, I can clarify and I can clear up it for you. Okay, that is the main thing. So let's write down. First one, there are about 25 elements in the living body. Write down, there are about 25 elements in the living body. Out of 92 elements. There are about 25 elements in the living body out of 92 elements. So this is a revision tour. I will quickly go through. Okay, I am not letting you a lot time. So you have to write the note quickly. Okay, we have to quickly go through the theory parts. Okay, so then after,
Okay, sir.
Then after we have to go with the most common 4 elements. Basically, these are the common things. We can divide the when we go through the elements to most commonly in most of the time we can see these 4 types of elements. They are carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen. They are the most common elements that we can see in our living body. Right there, that point also. The most common 4 elements in living body are the most common 4 elements in living body are write down, in living body are carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen. Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen. Next point, write down the next point also. Other than above, so other than above, so there are some other elements. Okay, just write down them. No need to by heart those things. Other than above, sulfur. Write down, other than above, sulfur, phosphorus, sodium, sulfur, phosphorus, sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium, iron, and chlorine are essential for the survival of organisms. So if we want to survive in this world, definitely we have to consist with those elements. This is a basic thing that you want to understand. Okay, so no need to by heart those elements, but you have to have an idea what are the main elements as well as what are the sub main elements. I think you are clear with it. Do you have any doubts?
No, sir, but last point is essential for the
survival of organisms. Write down, essential for the survival of organisms. Survival of organisms. For the survival.
Okay,
yeah. Okay, Vidua. Then other than that, there is another special point that they have mentioned, and I prefer, I think they will ask the MCQ question for your exam this time based on this one. Okay. Percentages of main elements in human body. So now you already know what are the main elements. They are carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen. But when we analyze the percentages of those elements in our living body, it is not just as the same in the frequency of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen. But when we consider their molecular weights and weights in body, most percentage goes to oxygen, more than 65%. Then second carbon, third hydrogen, fourth nitrogen. You have to remember this frequency. No need to by heart the percentages. No need. Okay. But you have to remember the frequency from the ascending or descending order. Sometimes they will ask the weight according to the ascending order, or it can be descending order. The thing that you want to remember, the highest weight or more than half of it is consists of oxygen. First oxygen, second carbon, third hydrogen, fourth nitrogen. Now tell me the sequence quickly. Which one is has the highest weight? Quickly tell me. You have to speak with me. Yeah. Tell
Carbon.
me. When we come to the percentages, more than 65% is oxygen. So what is the highest one? Oxygen.
Oxygen.
Okay. Oxygen. Second.
Carbon.
Carbon. Third one.
Hydrogen.
Fourth one.
Nitrogen.
Nitrogen. You have to remember the sequence. So write down. Let's see. Write down. Percentages of main elements in human body. Percentages of main elements in human body. Write down them there. Write down number 1 oxygen. Within the brackets write down 65%. Number 1 oxygen. Within the brackets write down 61%. 61%. Number 2 carbon, 18%. Number 2 carbon, 18%. 18%. Number 3 hydrogen, 10%. Number 3 hydrogen. Hydrogen, it is 10%. Number 4 nitrogen, it is 3%. Within the brackets write the percentage also. So that is it. You have to buy hard. You have to remember that one. Yeah, then after we are going for the categorization of chemical elements. Basically when we come to compounds, it is, so you know, I think you know the difference between compounds and elements. Element consists only one type of, it can be carbon, it can be nitrogen, it can be oxygen, it can be hydrogen. But when we come to the elements, what will happen? So elements, if there are more than one element combined with each other, we called it as compounds. In this nature, there are two main types of compounds. They are organic compounds and inorganic compounds. What are they? Organic compounds and inorganic compounds. The definition is very easy. Organic compounds are the compounds that contain carbon. අපි සිංහලෙන් කියන්නේ කාබනික සහ අකාබනික. නමෙම තියෙනවානේ. කාබනිකයි කියන්නේ කාබන් තියෙනවා. අකාබනිකයි කියන්නේ කාබන් නැහැ. Just like that, the compounds contain carbon known as organic compounds. The compound does not contain carbon are known as inorganic compound. Is it clear to you? Up to now, okay.
Sir, second one is not clear, sir.
Oh, okay.
Inorganic.
Yeah, inorganic compounds means these compound does not include carbon. Okay, so just consider a compound. There are just like sodium chloride, salt. In your day-to-day lives, you are using salt, no? Salt. What is the chemical formula of salt? NaCl, sodium and chlorine. It does not include carbon. The compounds that include carbon in the formal structure, if it is included with carbon, it is known as organic compound. The compound does not include carbon, are known as inorganic compound. Clear? Water, H2O, there are no any carbons. Salt, NaCl, magnesium chloride, MgCl2, calcium carbonate, it include carbon. Then sulfur dioxide, SO2, there is no any carbon. So we consider it as inorganic compound. Clear that?
Yes, sir.
Clear, no?
Yes.
Yeah, great. So if you have any connection issues, please let me know. That's why I do the recording and I will definitely put this into YouTube. So if you have anything to clarify, you can go through, watch it and clarify that also. Okay? And try your maximum to go through the videos. Most of the videos are in Sinhala medium though, because I mainly focused on Sinhala medium. But if you request, I can do that short notes in English medium also. But it will take some time. Okay, these days because of the power cuts, I'm doing the recording from midnight to 5 a.m. So after doing those things at night, in the morning I'm very I'm bit stressed, and yeah, you also can understand the situation, because in previous days we have power cuts for more than 13 hours. So only the thing that I can do is doing my recordings and sharing those things for my students in night time. So I will try my best. Okay, Dua. So try to maximize yourself with the things that you have right now. Yeah, it is a critical situation for all of us, but let's see. But the thing is this like this, okay? So after the exam, there are no excuses for us. Okay, that is the practical thing in our society. So definitely we know the hardships that we are working right now, how we are facing these challenges, how critical the situation is. As a university student, we have to submit the presentation, assignments every week, but we don't have power. We don't have time to record those things. We have to go for vivas. So what can we do? But if we are not able to overcome our exams, finally it is our failure. No one take the responsibility for that. For if you in your exam also, if you are not able to go through your exam, there will be no one asking for you excuses. They will just blame you because it is your fault. But we know the reality, how hard that we are facing in our country right now. But the thing is, as we can do, again, as university students, we are trying our best to overcome this critical situation. It's no offense with that. But as students, you don't have any options. You have to maximize the limited sources that you have. Take best out of it. Don't worry about it. Don't think about your past also. Okay. Most of the students, I did see this problem. Okay. They are just thinking about their past and waste in their present also. Don't be a prisoner of your past. It is already gone. If you do some mistakes, if you addicted to films, if you addicted to video games, if you addicted to sleep, learn something from your past. But because you can't change your past, you already gone through it. But the thing that you can change is your present. You have close to 2 months time period. Work hard for that. Work hard for that. Work honestly, do. You can do work to showcase your parents, because if they blame you, if they asking you whether you are doing or not, whether you are studying or not, you can just show them, you can try that you are working just to showcase them, not studying, just to show off. No need. Okay, if you do like that, finally you are the one, you deceiving yourself. Okay, you are cheating yourself, not to them, because in the exam we have to face it. Okay, as a teacher, I'm also not going to face the exam. I already faced my O level, passed my O level, did my A level in science and passed it well, and now university final year. So you are the one who facing the exam. So in the class, take the maximum out of it. In the day-to-day life, take the maximum out of it. Work hard. You have to work hard until your exam. Then after, we relax. And don't think about your past right now. Don't. Just learn something from them, because you can't go for your past. In my sense also same. If I do any mistake in my past, I can't change it, but I can learn from that. You can learn from that. You can create your future. Okay, so from where did we stop the note? Did we explain the organic and inorganic compounds? Not yet, no?
Yes, sir.
Did I write it?
No, sir.
No, let's write down. Write down the chemical compounds. Chemical compounds that build up living matter can be divided into two categories.
Sir, not clear, sir.
The chemical compounds that build up living matter can be okay, can be
Okay, sir.
divided into two categories. Divided into two categories. Divided into two categories. Write down they are, write down they are organic compounds and inorganic compounds. They are organic compounds and inorganic compounds.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, write down. They are organic compounds and inorganic compounds. Write the subtopic organic compound. Organic compounds. Write the definition. Write the definition. Organic compounds. Compounds which contain carbon are known as compounds which contain carbon are known as organic compounds. Okay. Write the examples also. Write the examples also. Carbohydrate, protein, lipids, final one, nucleic acid, and vitamins. Those are the main organic compounds. Vitamins.
Sir, last one.
Vitamins. Okay. Okay, Daru?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, write the next point. Inorganic compounds. Write down. Write the definition. Write the topic, a subtopic inorganic compounds. Write the definition. Compounds which does not contain carbon are compounds which does not contain carbon are which does not contain carbon are compounds which does not contain carbon are known as inorganic compounds. Write the examples also. Write the examples. Water, gases and minerals. Water, gases and minerals. Okay. Yeah, there is another thing that you want to remember. So as the basic definition, I explain you what are the organic and inorganic. Organic compounds are the compounds that contain carbon. Inorganic compounds are the compounds that does not contain carbon. Okay, that is the basic. But in here, there are another four main elements. They already contain carbons. The elements that contain carbon or include carbon are known as organic, no? But there are deviations from four elements. They have given you examples for four elements. They already include carbon. So as the basic definition, the compounds that include carbon are known as organic. But these four, this is a deviation, these four elements include carbon, but it is categorized under inorganic compound. That is a deviation, okay? Not the same procedure. There are four elements. They include carbon, but considered as inorganic compound. They are, here they have to clearly mention carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, carbonates and bicarbonates. Carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, carbonates and bicarbonates. Is it clear with you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, let's see, write down the write down. Put a star mark and write. Okay, it is an important one. Put a star mark and write. There are four elements. There are four elements. There are four elements.
Okay, sir.
There are four elements which contain carbon. Which contain carbon, but which contain carbon, but categorized under inorganic compounds. Inorganic compounds. Categorized under inorganic compounds. Categorized under inorganic compounds. Write the examples, do a one by one, okay? One by one, write the chemical formula and the example, okay? Number one, carbon dioxide. What is the chemical formula of carbon dioxide? It is CO2. Carbon dioxide, CO. Carbon dioxide. First example, right? Carbon dioxide within the bracket CO2. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Second one, second example, carbon monoxide, it is CO. First write carbon monoxide within the brackets, write the chemical formula CO.
Sir, chemical formula is?
Yeah, it is CO. CO. Capital C, capital O. Okay, CO. Chemical formula means chemical structure. Chemically, how we are showcasing it to others. Chemical formula. Then the third one, carbonate. How to write carbonate? CO3. It is an anion. CO3 2 minus. Can you see my screen? Is it clear with you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. Carbonate CO3 2 minus. Final example, fourth one. Bicarbonate HCO3 minus. So those are the four elements. So they have given you example with four elements. They include all carbon already. Okay, at the normal categorization, the elements that include carbon are known as organic. But in here, they already include carbon. Here, it is carbon. This is also carbon. This is carbon. This is carbon. They include carbon, but they are categorized in under inorganic compounds. All clear? All good?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, let's see, go for the next one. Write down the next point. The organic compounds that build the living body, or the organic compounds that build the living body, or living body, or living body, or living body, or living matter are known as biomolecules. Living matter are known as biomolecules. Write the examples for biomolecules also. They have given you 4 examples. Write the examples. Write the examples. They have given you 4 examples. They have given you 4 examples: carbonates, carbohydrates, protein, lipids, and nucleic acids. They have given you 4 examples. Write down them. Carbonates, so carbohydrates, protein, lipids, and nucleic acids. Okay. Then after, you have to move forward with the next point. Write down. They are considered as the main type of biomolecules. Yeah, we are in here, no? Yeah. These are considered as main types of biomolecules. All good. All clear up to now, no? Okay. Then write down, instead of these 4 types, instead of these four types, vitamins are also one of the organic compounds. Vitamins are also one of the organic compounds. Next point, write down. Water, mineral and gases. Water, mineral and gases. Water, mineral and gases are some of the inorganic molecules. Water, mineral and gases are some of the inorganic molecules that are essential for the maintenance of life. Essential for the
I can't hear, sir.
Water, mineral, and can't you hear right now also?
Last one is inorganic compound.
Inorganic compounds. Yeah, water, mineral, and gases are some of the inorganic molecules or compounds that are essential for the maintenance of life. Maintenance of life. All good? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good. Okay, now we are coming for extra reading part. So in my class, it is just like this. Okay. So I just want to keep the focus in and other things. Normally, I will give the students to read the chapters. Okay. So in that sense, after that, I will explain the class. But now in here, I have to go quickly with the notes. So I have to go through a rapid revision. So I'm not going to give you all the things to read. But here they have given you extra part. Can you quickly read this one? So they have given the element, percentage, and the location present. Can you quickly read this? Then it will easily go to your mind. That's why. Yeah, quickly read this.
Oxygen 65%, all fluids, tissues, bones, proteins. Carbon 18%, and everywhere in the body.
Good.
Hydrogen 10%, all fluids, tissues, bones, proteins. Nitrogen 3%, all fluids, tissues, proteins.
Calcium.
Calcium 1.5%, brain, lungs, kidneys, livers, heart, thyroid gland, muscles, bones.
Very good.
Potassium 1.0%, urine, bones. Phosphorus 0.35%.
Enzymes. Yeah, do here this P is the phosphorus. Okay, P phosphorus, K potassium. Okay, P phosphorus,
okay, sir.
K potassium, S sulfur. Yeah,
so sulfur 0.25%, protein. Sodium 0.15%, all fluids, tissues. Magnesium 0.05%, brain, lungs, kidneys, liver, heart, thyroid gland, muscles. Chlorine 0.2, skin cells.
Iron. Iron. It is iron.
Iron 0.007%. Hemoglobin in blood.
Yeah. Okay. Iodine.
Iodine 0.0002%. hormones in thyroid gland.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, very good. Okay, nice. So that is extra reading part. It is basically the explanation of the importance of different types of elements. No need to buy hard, but take a little idea about those things. That's enough. Yeah, let's move forward with the next topic. Write down carbohydrates. Very important one. Write down carbohydrates. 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 Very important point. Very important thing that there are a lot of things that you want to remember. You have to emphasize based on carbohydrates.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, let's see, write down the note, then after I will explain it. This is the most abundant. 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 This is the most abundant organic compound on Earth. Organic compound on Earth. This is the most abundant compound on Earth. Next point. They are produced during the photosynthesis of green plants. They are produced during the photosynthesis of green plants. Photosynthesis of green plants. They are producing during the photosynthesis of green plants. Photosynthesis of green plants. So then after write down the examples. So basically when we go through an element or compound, definitely basically you just want to remember the basic elements, the places that we can find that sort of compounds. Other than that, the applications or the importance of those compounds. Finally, testings. How we going to test those compounds and how we going to separate those compounds from other types of elements. Okay, then write down the examples to examples, the places that we can find these carbohydrates. So normally in our day-to-day life, we have the experience, no? In our day-to-day life, we are eating most of these. Write down potato, sweet potato, grains. Quickly write down the word. Am I reading too fast? So can you manage it? Normally I give the notes very fast. Some students can manage, some are not. Is it okay with you? Is it clear?
Yes, sir. I can manage. I can manage, sir.
Very good. Nice. Yeah. Write down potato, sweet potato, grains, sugar. Sugar also type of flour, okay, or carbohydrate. Sugar, flour. Those are the examples. Flour.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, next point, write down. The main elemental composition of carbohydrate is the main elemental composition of carbohydrate is carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Carbohydrate is carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Elemental composition of carbohydrate is carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. So those are the elements that we can see in carbohydrate: carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Write the next point here. Write the next one. Hydrogen and oxygen combine in 2:1 ratio in carbohydrates. 2:1 ratio in carbohydrates. The ratio is 2:1. 2:1 ratio in carbohydrates. 2:1 ratio in carbohydrates. 2 to 1 in carbohydrate.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So then write down the common formula, right? Common formula CxH2OY. CxH2OY. So those things are very important. You have to by heart those things. Remember those things. Basic theory. No need to frustrate. Just the basics. Okay. So here, as they mentioned, the most common and most used type of organic compound is carbohydrates. So we have to use it in our day-to-day life more frequently. That's why they have mentioned like that. Other than that, you have to remember the examples. Normally, potato, sweet potato, grain, sugar, flour are the examples. And the chemical composition, it is carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. Hydrogen to oxygen ratio is 2 to 1. And the chemical formula, it is a thing that you want to remember, CxH2OY. CxH2OY. So now we are focusing on the categorization of carbohydrates. Okay. So when we categorize, when we divide carbohydrates, there are 3 parts: monosaccharides, disaccharides, and polysaccharides. Normally, I will teach these lessons with a video, but unfortunately, last Friday, because of the power cuts, I was able to do the session through my tab. So in the tab, it is a bit difficult, the screen sharing those things, but from my laptop, I can easily go through with that. So let's see, confirm that, just focus that whether that you can see the screen well, okay? Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, let's see, go through with type of carbohydrates. Yeah, here the thing is, if you have difficulties in any subject, okay, it can be science, maths, history, or anything. If you can't clarify it alone, with the time that you can do is, if you can reach your teacher and clarify it. No offense, if they are there for you. Or other than that, in science also, if you have any doubts, you can put a message to me, and if I'm free, I will let you know. But basically, this time period, I'm so busy with the students who are facing this exam. Okay, I'm teaching for more than 20 students who facing the exam with you. Okay, so a bit busy, but I will try my best. When I have free, definitely I will answer you. If you have any question, you are free to ask. So in that sense, if it is not working, science, definitely I will. But I'm telling for the other subject, if you can't understand a lot, try to go Google it. Try to understand it from a YouTube video, because in YouTube they have explained almost all the things with animation, clear explanation, in simple points. You can easily go through it. And in my class, I always teach like this, because when we just listen to it, it is not going to our mind and brain. But if we learn it with the explanation, I think you can understand the whether I'm teaching. Okay, so I'm just not reading the note. I will try my best to put that into your mind. In that sense, it's one way that I'm targeting and focusing you. I always ask you questions. I always clarify whether that you have written the note. That is the way. I'm just keeping it in your touch. Other than that, if we are learning something with videos or animation, definitely it will go our mind easily. So let's see what are the carbohydrates and their importance. Yeah, this one is preferred. Take an idea about it, okay?
The key to learning is to understand the concept. If a child doesn't, she struggles, let alone answer correctly.
Macy's grades dropped. She was stressed.
Can you hear? Can you hear the sound?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Carbohydrates and its types. We encounter many types of carbohydrates in our daily lives, from bread to rice, and even to cellulose in our clothes. Carbohydrates mainly come from plants and are a good source of energy for the body. They also function as supporting structures, like, for example, cellulose cell walls in plants. They are used to make other organic compounds like amino acids and fats. Nucleic acids like DNA are also formed by carbohydrates, as well as lubricants like mucus. Another fascinating function of carbohydrates is that they are also used to produce the nectar in some flowers. Carbohydrates are organic compounds made up of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. The hydrogen and oxygen atoms are present in the same ratio, that is, 2 to 1, there are three main types of carbohydrates: monosaccharides, disaccharides, and polysaccharides. Monosaccharides have a simple chemical composition and therefore known as simple sugars. Examples of them are glucose, fructose, and galactose. The sugar glucose is one of the simplest forms of sugars and has the chemical formula C6H12O6. The generalized formula for carbohydrates is CnH2mOm. In the case of glucose, N and M is equal to 6. Disaccharides are also known as complex sugars as they have complex chemical compositions. Maltose, lactose, and sucrose are their examples. Disaccharide structure molecules are made up of two molecules of simple sugars condensed together. The most common types of disaccharides have 12 carbon atoms, with the general formula C12H22O11. The differences in the disaccharides are again due to the different atomic arrangements within the molecule. Sucrose, or cane sugar, occurs in sugarcane stems, sweet fruits, and certain storage roots, for example, carrots. It consists of a glucose and a fructose molecule combined together. Lactose, also known as milk sugar, is commonly found in milk. As the name suggests, it is found in milk of all mammals, including humans, and even in some similar fluids, such as pigeon's milk. It is formed from glucose and galactose combined together. Maltose, known as malt sugar, is present in malted cereals and sprouting grains. It is formed from the part.
Yes, so you have to remember the applications. Okay, that's why I'm showcasing you. What are the types of carbohydrates? Basically, monosaccharide, disaccharides, and polysaccharides, and their applications. That you have to go through with those things. Quickly try to keep in mind, but I will explain almost all these. But from this also try to understand what the process is.
Partial digestion of starch and is a combination of two glucose molecules. As mentioned before, the formulation of one molecule of disaccharide requires two molecules of simple sugars. Each reaction is known as condensation reaction. Condensation is a chemical reaction whereby two simple molecules are joined together to form a larger molecule with the removal of one molecule of water. On the other hand, when a disaccharide is treated with a suitable enzyme, it breaks down to form monosaccharides. In this reaction, water is added, and thus the reaction is called hydrolysis or hydrolytic reaction. Polysaccharides are the most chemically complex carbohydrate, and its examples include starch and cellulose. There are other substances which are slightly modified carbohydrates, such as the chitin of the arthropod skeleton.
Yeah, that's it. I think that's clear with you, okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so let's see, write the categorization, write down to us. Here, the thing that I need, so I told you at the beginning, this is not only a theory class, okay? You have to remember. So first of all, I will tell you the categorization one time, and I will give you 1 minute. You have to study it right now, and you have to tell me, and do this is the thing like this, okay? So I'm your teacher. So you can do lot mistakes. It is completely okay. You are coming to a class to understand your mistakes and overcome them. So in the class, if I ask a question, if you do a wrong answer, completely okay. I like that because in that sense, you can learn something. So no need to hide, no need to fear. If I ask anything, give you open idea of your answer. If you don't know, tell me, sir, I don't know. It's completely okay because we are coming to a class to learn something. No one is perfect, okay? In my sense also, sometimes the questions raised from the students, I learn a lot. Then after when I Google it and I learn a lot from that also. So each and every one of us, until our death, we are learning. So if I give you a target, try to achieve it. Try your best. And if it is not, if you do any mistakes, completely okay. Okay? Don't worry about it. I just like your brother, one of your brother, and take the maximum out of it and don't get stressed. In my class, be relaxed and take the maximum from the science. Okay? So when we come to carbohydrates, we can divide it to 3 main parts. They are monosaccharides, disaccharides, and polysaccharides. So when we come to all these carbon, compare all these carbons, monosaccharides are the simplest form. Disaccharide is a combination of two monosaccharides. Polysaccharide is a combination of more than two monosaccharides. It can be 1,000, it can be 1 lakh, it can be million also. So normally we call them as polymerization compounds. So first point, there are 3 categories of carbohydrates. They are monosaccharide, disaccharides, and polysaccharides. For the monosaccharides, the examples are glucose, fructose, galactose. You have to remember these 3. Glucose, fructose, galactose. For the disaccharides, there are 3 examples: sucrose, other than that, maltose, sucrose, and lactose. For the polysaccharides, there are 3 examples: starch, cellulose, glycogen. Starch, cellulose, glycogen. Then after, we are learning one by one. So the task that you have to do is, first, you have to draw this table. So draw this, okay? Within the brackets, write the common formula also. And I will give you 1 minute to do this task. And you have to by heart all the examples. There are 9 examples for each. Is it okay? Can you manage it? First of all, you have to draw it. Not write it down. You have to keep it in your mind also. I will ask you a few questions at the end. Can you do it?
Yes, sir.
Not clear? Okay, no? I couldn't hear that much clear. Is it okay with you? Yeah, I will give you 1 minute. Try to by heart.
Okay, sir.
Okay, try it. Okay, within 1 minute I will come.
Yes, sir. Sir, sir. Finish.
Okay, Dugan, did you write it? All clear?
Yes, sir.
I think connection is not that much clear, but I think you can move forward with that. So what, when the can you tell me the categorization? I think you studied it well. Okay, let's see, go one by one on monosaccharide. Write the subtopic monosaccharides. Monosaccharides. All good? Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. When you come to the monosaccharides, basically, there are a few points that you want to remember. When we understand about the carbohydrate, this is the basic unit of carbohydrate, or the simplest unit, or the structural unit. So almost all these carbohydrate consist of this monosaccharide. This is the simplest form. So when you come to the disaccharide, it is a combination of two monosaccharides. When you come to the polysaccharide, it is a combination of more than two monosaccharides. Okay, as they have mentioned here, monosaccharide is the structural unit of carbohydrate. They are commonly known as simple sugars. Normally we call them as simple sugars. They are crystal. So other than that, though, they have mentioned few of other features or the properties of monosaccharides. Basically, they are crystal shape, generally sweet, normally glucose. If they ask a question based on monosaccharide, though, the most easiest way to answer those type of question, you have to have an idea about an example on monosaccharide. The most common, most suitable example for the monosaccharides are glucose. Okay, so when you come to glucose, it is crystalline shape, generally sweet. You know the sweet taste of the glucose. Okay, we all have that experience in our sport meet, or if you complete a match, or if you complete a running event, definitely your teachers will give you glucose to take that energy. So it is sweet in taste, and they are water soluble molecules. The basic three examples are glucose, fructose, and galactose. Is it clear with you? All good?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, let's see, write down. Write down. No, write down. Monosaccharide is the structural unit. Monosaccharide is the structural unit. Is the structural unit of carbohydrates. Of carbohydrates. Of carbohydrates. Next one, they are commonly known as simple sugars. They are commonly known as simple sugars. They are commonly known as simple sugars. Next one, next one, write down features of monosaccharide. Features of monosaccharides. Features of monosaccharides, write down. They are crystalline shaped. They are crystalline shaped. Generally sweet in taste.
So, second one is
Crystalline shaped word. Second one, generally sweet. Okay. Generally sweet. Third point, water soluble. Water soluble. Water soluble. Water soluble. Water soluble. Right. Okay, Daru. So now we are coming for the next one. Write down characteristics of different types of monosaccharide. Characteristic of different type of monosaccharides. Characteristic of different types of monosaccharides. So Daru, the thing is, first of all, you have to draw this table. What are the two main monosaccharides? Glucose, fructose, galactose, their location, and other factors. Then after, I will quickly explain this to you. Okay? Can you draw this table quickly?
okay, sir.
Yeah,
Okay,
quickly
sir.
draw. Yeah, quickly draw and let me know. Sure. Quickly draw and try to study as well. Try to understand what is it. Okay, that we're done. Louis, completed.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so let's see, go one by one. Here, the thing is you have to understand the importance of each monosaccharide. Basically, they will ask the question based on this also. When you come to the monosaccharides, basically there are three: glucose, fructose, and galactose. The things that you want to understand for each is the place and the important factors. Normally, glucose we can find in ripened fruits and bee honey. That's why it gives that sweet taste. When we come to the other factors, normally in our body, in the plants, there are starch. So if we want to absorb energy, we have to convert, or we have to hydrolyze it into monosaccharides. So if we have a starch also polysaccharide, if you want to digest it, if you want to absorb it, definitely it should be converted to what? Glucose. It should be converted to glucose and then absorbed to the blood. That's why they have explained in the first. I think you already written all these things. I just explaining those things to you. Other than that, so now you know about the photosynthesis. So when we come to the photosynthesis, what are the products? What are the ingredients of photosynthesis? What are the factors that are required for the photosynthesis? They are carbon dioxide and water, basically. Then with the sunlight inside of the chlorophyll, they convert it to glucose and oxygen. So this glucose is the main substance or the main product of photosynthesis. That's why they have mentioned plants produce glucose during photosynthesis. Next one, energy is released during breaking down of glucose in cellular respiration. Normally in our respiration also what will happen? This glucose break down and give the energy for our functional property. So when we come to the fructose, we can find the fructose in ripened fruits, bee honey, pumpkin and carrots. So also you can feel that, okay? When you eat carrots, when you eat pumpkin, you can feel that sweet taste inside it, okay? In raw form, without a hurry, if you eat them in basically carrots we are eating, okay? In raw form, you can feel the taste or sweet. That is because of fructose. Other than that, when you come to the special points, it is known as fruit sugar because in the fruits, normally we can find this fructose. Fructose is formed during the ripening of fruits. That's why it gives the taste. This is the sweetest sugar. That is a very important thing that you want to highlight this. Definitely they will ask questions based on this. This fructose is known as sweet sugar, sweetest sugar, okay? Not only sweet, it is the sweetest, the best one. Sugar, it is fructose. So when we come to the third example, it is galactose. We can see galactose in dairy product, basically first two, glucose and fructose. But this galactose, glucose and fructose both are sweet in taste, but this galactose does not have a sweet taste, and we can find it in dairy products. The end product during hydrolysis of lactose, normally, you know, lactose is a disaccharide. So when we divide or hydrolysis into two parts, it converts glucose and galactose. That's why they have mentioned. Two extra points that you want to remember here. For the fructose, they call it is the sweetest sugar. For the glucose, there is no sweet taste in galactose. All clear? All good?
Sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good. Next one, disaccharides. Write down disaccharides. Disaccharides. So let's read it first. Two monosaccharides join to form disaccharides. During this process, water molecule is released. In the same way, relevant monosaccharide can be obtained by the hydrolysis of disaccharides. Disaccharides are also sweet and water-soluble crystals. So in this reaction, in here, from this equation, they are clearly shown what will happen. There are two monosaccharides and they will convert to disaccharide plus water. So this is it. In here, the stoichiometry, the number is 2. Then it will convert to 2. One disaccharide molecule and water molecule. That is the formation. Let's see write down to her. First, let's see write down. Type the topic disaccharide. Then write down. Two monosaccharides join to form a disaccharides. Two monosaccharides join to form a disaccharides. Okay. During this process, two monosaccharides join to form a disaccharide. During this process, a water molecule is released. A water molecule is released. A water molecule is released. A water molecule release. Next one, write down properties of disaccharides. The properties of disaccharides, write down. First one, dissolve in water, dissolve in water, dissolve in water. Within the brackets, write down water soluble. Water soluble. Water soluble. Dissolve in water. The example is water. The property is water solubility. Water soluble. Then next one. Next property, sweet in taste. The taste is sweeter. Sweet in taste. Sweet in taste. Third property, form crystals. Form crystals. Form crystals. Form crystals. Those are the main properties that we can see. Other than that, quickly write this equation. Monosaccharide plus monosaccharide convert to disaccharide and water, and the chemical formula also. Quickly draw it. Quickly write it down. Please let me know after completing, okay?
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So now let's go with the applications. Okay, just like the previous one, they have mentioned, write down characteristics of different types of disaccharides. 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 Okay. So here, as the previous one, I will give you 1 minute. Quickly, can you draw this table? Because while drawing this puta, while you are writing the table, you have to keep those things in your mind. When we didn't write, definitely those things does not go to our mind. You have to write with your own, and you have to send me the notes also. Don't take longer time. Quickly draw this table with maltose. As I explained here, there are 3 types of examples. There are 3 main types of disaccharides. They are maltose, sucrose, and lactose. Quickly draw this. Can you?
Sir, okay.
Yeah, quickly draw it and let me know. Buddha. Just after completing it, let me know.
Can, sir? Sir, okay.
Let's see focus. Quickly, yeah. So let's see. Here we have focusing on disaccharides. I will quickly go through with you a video about that also to take an idea. Disaccharides. Yeah, here this shows how the formation take place. Yeah, this is the ready to go through with this.
Carbs make you put on weight. Carbs are important for our energy and don't lead to.
Yeah.
Hey guys. Welcome back to my channel. In this video we will talk about what are monosaccharides, disaccharides, and polysaccharides. But before that we make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn the notification on. Monosaccharide is a single sugar monomer, which they have empirical formula of CH2O. Monomers are small molecules in which through process of polymerization creates polymers, which then during process of hydrolyze breaks down to monomers. There is an infinite cycle of converting between them. Monosaccharides consists of multiple hydroxyl groups and aldehyde or ketone functional group attached to the main chain. Common monosaccharides are including glucose and fructose. These are the simplest forms of sugar that can be absorbed into the bloodstream. Fruits or vegetables are the major sources of fructose and glucose. Fresh broccoli and avocado have the lowest amounts, with about 0.1 grams glucose and fructose in 100 grams. White cabbage has 1.5 grams fructose and 1.9 grams glucose when boiled. However, keep that in mind that fruits have a higher fructose content than vegetables if you are fructose intolerance. Glucose has carbonyl functional group bonded at the end of the main chain. Therefore it is considered as aldehyde group. As such they are called aldose functional group. Fructose has carbonyl functional group within the main chain. Therefore they are considered to have ketose functional group. The state of the monosaccharides in the aqueous solutions exist as two forms in dynamic equilibrium: a straight chain and \alpha ring structure. \alpha ring structure is 3D dimensional structure which can be drawn into Haworth or chain conformation. The straight.
So with that you can easily understand how the process going on, okay? How the structure, this is a bit difficult one. It is not only for the O levels, but it is an advanced one. But I just want to clarify you how the structure goes there, how the process goes there. Okay, when we come to the disaccharides, so basically there are three monosaccharides. So when we come to disaccharides, it is maltose, sucrose, lactose. Is it clear with you? When you write in, did you take an idea about the process and the importance of it and the locations that they are present? Or do you have doubts? Yeah, okay with it, no? I will explain. Yeah, there is a power little issue with the connection. So for the first day, I will go through with the disaccharides as well as polysaccharides. So then after the significance of carbohydrate. Basically, if we are not able to understand those things, we can't move forward. Okay. Basically, I will go to that point in the first day. Then after, I will explain, because when I share this YouTube video, you can easily download it, you can easily watch it when you feel free. So that is the basic. Okay.
So in disaccharides,
connection issues with you. I can't hear you clearly. What is it? Okay. So let's see, move forward with this. When we come to the maltose, basically it can be found in germinating seeds. Okay. The maltose, it can be found in germinating seeds. Okay, very important one. Other than that, union of two glucose molecules form a maltose molecule. So what are the two glucose molecules? They are glucose plus glucose, convert to maltose and water. And intermediate products of the starch hydrolysis, what will happen? From amylase enzyme, the starch convert to maltose, then after maltose convert to glucose. So when we come to the sucrose, it is very easy, Darune. When we come to the sucrose, we can find it in white and brown sugar, sugarcane, the beet also, some fruits. In phloem sap also we can see this. Okay, in phloem sap it is also consists with sucrose. So it is easy in here. When we come to the disaccharide, the basic thing that you want to understand is the consistency. Okay, the maltose, it consists two glucose molecules. When you come to the sucrose, glucose and fructose. When you come to the lactose, it is glucose and galactose. That is it. You have to keep it in mind. So when these are the places that you can find it, and the structural unit formation. Union of glucose molecules with the fructose molecule forms a sucrose molecule. Glucose, fructose, sucrose, and water. That is it. When we come to the lactose, so up to now we learn complete on monosaccharides. Now we are coming to the final parts of disaccharides. Basically, when we go through the structure of lactose, what will happen? We can find this lactose in our dairy products. This is very common thing that we can see. And lactose as well as galactose we can find only in animals, not in plants. Okay, because it is from dairy product. Union of glucose molecule with the galactose molecule. So here they are clearly showing you the progress of it also. Then this percentage is also very important for you. When we come to the lactose, the percentages are, so basically in our normally the percentage of lactose in cow's milk, basically the percentage of lactose in cow's milk, it is 4 to 6. Okay, it is 4 to 6. The percentages of lactose in human milk, it is 6 to 7. It means the percentage of lactose in human milk is greater than the cow's milk. So as I explained you previously, when we come to the lactose, so what is it? When we come to the lactose, it is very important for animals because it is consist of animals, most of the animals. So here, basically, I will do the recording. So I will put it to YouTube, so you can watch it when you feel free. If there are any connection issues, that is the main target of mine. If there are any connection issues, I know there is different situation, different people, different students have a lot of difficulties right now. So my purpose is sharing my knowledge with my best with them to gain the maximum out of. Okay, so I will do my task with my best. So your task is to take the maximum out from this. So when we come to the lactose, what will happen? We can find it in dairy products. And when we analyze the structures of it, so only the sugar that is absent in plants. All the other sugars we can see in plants, they are present in plants. But this lactose, we can see it in animals. And there is not sweet taste, just like galactose. And when we come to the formation, glucose plus galactose, lactose plus water. So this is also an important point. When we compare the percentage of lactose with human milk as well as cow's milk, human milk include more lactose than cow's milk. Cow's milk it is 4 to 6, but when we come to the human milk, it is 6 to 7. That is it. Okay. So after completing this disaccharides, we can go with the polysaccharides. Right, the topic polysaccharides. Polysaccharides. This is a very important point. So as the first day, I'm not going to exceed. I will go through with this polysaccharide and the significance, and I stop from the testings because in one day we can't do all. You have to go one by one. So as this is to take you an idea, but you have to move forward with this. Okay, you have to overcome this. So that's why I will put this into a YouTube channel to take the use of for my students. Take the maximum out of it and try to gain the maximum from it. So as I explained previously, Daruo, when we come to the polysaccharides, what will happen? So here you have to write the note based on the important points that I mentioned. Write down them. Write down polymerization of large number of monosaccharides form a polymerization of large number of monosaccharides form a polysaccharide molecule. polysaccharide molecule. Next point. Write down. Hydrolysis of polysaccharide. 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 Result relevant monosaccharides. Results relevant monosaccharides. Results relevant monosaccharides. Results relevant monosaccharides. Results relevant monosaccharides. Right, the next point. Now we are focusing on the properties. Insoluble in normal water. So here we can understand when we try to go through analyze the structural properties. Normally monosaccharides and disaccharides are common. They are soluble in water. They are crystalline, sweet in taste, and comparably the complexity is low. But when we come to the polysaccharide, the properties are completely different. Okay, so as I explained you, it is water insoluble. They are not crystalline, not sweet in taste. So all those properties are against monosaccharides and disaccharides. In that sense, also you can understand when you come to the polysaccharide, the structural units or the properties are completely different than others because it includes more than 2 monosaccharides. Most of the time, these are the polymerization compounds. We are learning it in the hydrocarbons chapter in grade 11, part 2, the final chapter, or the chapter before the final one. So in that sense, we are dividing the polymerization compounds into 2 categories, natural ones and the artificial ones. So this starch or the carbohydrates or polysaccharides are the natural polymerization compounds. Or write down the first property, insoluble in water. Second one, they are not crystallites. They are not crystals. They are not, or they don't have the ability to form crystals. They are not crystallines. Then write the next point. Not crystalline. Write the next point. The basic examples for them are cellulose, starch, glycogen. Thank you. Cellulose, starch, glycogen. Basic examples are cellulose, starch, glycogen. And there is another special point that you want to emphasize. You want to understand, that is what is the reason to form this type of different polysaccharides? What is the reason? What is the science behind that? Yeah, here they clearly explain the reason for that is their properties are different according to the number of glucose molecules and how they are bound with each other. That's it, okay? They are based on the, so when we analyze those properties, what is the base of it? What is the base? What is the difference? For the difference, it is based on how they are bonded with each other and the number of glucose molecules. That is the most important point. Definitely, they will focus those points. They will not ask those points in your structured as well as in the MCQ paper. What are the points? What are the factors they are considering? Or what are the factors? What are the causing factors to have different properties in polysaccharides? To have different properties in polysaccharides. What are they? They are the number of monosaccharides and the bonds. Write down this. The structural unit of glucose. Write down the structural unit of glucose. The structural unit of glucose. Starch. The structural unit of glucose. Starch. And glycogen is the structural unit of, so not glucose, cellulose, starch, and glycogen is, now we are focusing on the structural unit. Structural unit of cellulose, starch, glycogen, it means structural unit of polysaccharides is glucose. Is glucose. Is glucose. Now you have to highlight this point at the end. This is the most important point. Write down here. The properties of polysaccharides are different according to the number of glucose molecules. So it's based on the number of glucose molecules. The properties of different polysaccharides are different based on the different, basically the number of glucose molecules. The number 2 reason is how they are bond each other. That is the 2 points that you want to remember. The number of molecules and how the bond formation takes place. From that you can get an idea about the process going. Yeah. Let's go with the table that they have given. So I will keep this as a homework for you. Okay. At the home, you have to take 1 or 2 minutes and draw this table. I will explain it right now. Write the topic, characteristic of different type of polysaccharides. Now we are focusing on polysaccharides. Characteristics of different types of polysaccharides. Characteristic of different types of polysaccharides. Is it clear, you? Now is it okay with you? Can you hear me clearly? I'm sure. Yeah. Okay. If you have any doubts, please let me know. And I will definitely put this into YouTube. Then you can clarify the missing points clearly. It will take some time though, because I have to edit and I have to maximize the sound and put some background sounds. So it will take a little time. Then after, definitely I will upload this into the YouTube. Yeah. So it's a homework for you. You have to write it, the table as a homework. Now we have to focus on each of the polysaccharide based on their properties. Basically write down what is the first one? Cellulose, starch, glycogen. Cellulose, starch, glycogen. Cellulose, starch, glycogen. So when we come to the cellulose, though, it is very important one that we want to focus. When we consider a cell, the cell wall of the plant cell is in fibrous form. Okay, it is consist of cellulose. Cell wall of the plant cell, it is consist of cellulose. Other factors, it is not digested in the human digestive system. So as we know, in our human digestive system, I already explained you previously, if we want to digest something, if we want to digest carbohydrate, we have to convert it to monosaccharides. As the example given, they are glucose, and we have to absorb it. If you want to digest protein, you have to convert it to amino acids and digest. If you want to absorb lipids, we have to convert it to fatty acids and glycerol and absorb it. If you want to digest nucleic acid, you have to convert it to nucleotides and absorb. It means you have to convert it to the simple form, and then after you have the ability to absorb it. So it is just like that. You have to convert them to the simplest form to digest. But in our digestive system, there is no any enzyme or the chemical to digest cellulose. It can be done by ruminants, cows, calves, and those animals. But we can't. It is not digesting human digestive system, but it helps to avoid constipation because it is very important. Okay, the fiber is one of the most important thing that we want to include to our day-to-day life or in our diets. What are the fiber-rich food? Basically, the fruits, different types of vegetables, just like fruits, just like mango, they have higher amount of fibers. So if we able to eat the correct amount of fiber-rich food, we can overcome the problems or the diseases like constipation. So as a food scientist, as a student who completed in the food science and special degree, I have created a YouTube video also based on the fiber-rich food and the importance of it. It is just to show, just to tell you, if you have free times, those things are also important to you, background knowledge, because now in your science paper work, so when you do past papers right now, don't try to do the papers earlier than 2016, because you are in the new syllabus right now. Try to do the papers from 2016 to today, because the all syllabus ones are not 100% aligned with our syllabus. Your syllabus is more advanced and the question formation, the techniques that they are using is totally different. So you have to adjust, you have to work with that type of papers. So definitely you have to do, when you're doing past papers, not only for science, but also other subjects, it is important for you do the papers after 2016. It means 2016, 17, 18, and 20. You have. And when you come to the starch, though, it is the most common polysaccharide. We can see it, yams, grains, jack, breadfruit, those things. The type of carbohydrate that's stored in plants in starch. Basically, after the photosynthesis, they produce glucose. Then they will convert it to starch and stored in the plant. And finally, when we come to the glycogen, we can see glycogen only in animals. Okay, we can't see glycogen in plants, animal liver, and our animal muscles. I think you are familiar with the bodybuilders. They are showing their muscles. That is based on glycogen. The formation of the fat and glycogen, it shows the muscles. So I don't have, but the bodybuilders have. Okay, so that's why the glycogen is stored in their muscle. The type of carbohydrate that's stored in animal is glycogen. So glycogen we can't see in plants. Cellulose and starch we can see in plants. After completing that, we are done with the carbohydrates, and here we have to go with the significance of carbohydrate. Basically, this is a very easy one. So write the topic, significance of carbohydrates. Significance of carbohydrate. So this is also a homework for you. I will quickly explain those things though, because I always try to allocate time for the explanation. In a normal class, definitely I will give the time to write. I will read the note to write, but this is a quick revision. So you can take an idea how the time is important for you right now. So I will explain those things. Just note down them. First one, as an energy source, as we all know, we are fulfilling our energy based on carbohydrate. Okay, that's why we are taking glucose, we are eating bread, buns, rice, and each and every one. Potatoes, almost all are carbohydrate. They are giving energy for our day-to-day life. It is an energy source. First one. Second one, as a storage compound, as I already explained you. When you come to the plant, starch is the storage compound. When you come to the animals, what is it? Animal? Glycogen is the storage compound. Starch in plants, glycogen in animals. Those are the main storageable compounds that we can see. Okay. As a storage compound, third one, as a structural component in plant cell wall. Clearly, I explain you, the cell wall is consist of cellulose. Cellulose is the structural component in cell wall. Finally, as a constituent in nucleic acid, I will explain this at the point that we are learning on nucleic acid. Okay, with that, we are concluding with carbohydrates. Write the topic, the rule, test to identify carbohydrate. Test to identify carbohydrate. Before coming to test, I will quickly wind up on significance. Basically, it is an energy source. It is a storage compound, structural component of cell wall, and a constituent in nucleic acids. So those are the main significance or the importance of carbohydrate, not only monosaccharide, not only disaccharide, not only polysaccharide, all around. because all these monosaccharide, disaccharides, polysaccharides are in the under the category of carbohydrates. So this is a common example of the applications of carbohydrate and the significance. So in the next day we can go with the test to identify carbohydrates. So if you have any doubts, you can put a message to me, and you can do anything, and I will explain them as soon as possible with the time that I have with you. So good luck. I think you may learn something for your life. Try to maximize yourself, try to take the maximum out of your time, work hard for your exam, take the best from your teachers, try to focus 100%, and good luck for your exams also. Take the best out of it. Okay, next day I will start with the identification test, and I will try to complete the proteins and lipids in the next day. So before meeting in the next week, so good luck for you, and do your best for the exam. Work hard for yourself. Okay, let's meet in the next week. Have a nice day. ඔගොල්ලෝ මේ ගමන සාමාන්‍ය පෙළ විභාගයට මාස පෙනී සිටීමට උත්සාහ කරනවා නම් පෙනී සිටීම බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා නම් ඔයගොල්ලෝ තුර ලොකු ප්‍රශ්න ඇති නේද? පාඩම් කරන්නේ කොහොමද? කම්මැලි, අමතක වෙනවා, මයින්ඩ් එක කොහොමද ફોකස් එකේ තියාගන්නේ? හරි ස්ට්‍රෙස් එක මැනේජ් කරන්නේ කොහොමද? මම මේ පාඩම් කරන දේ කොහොමද දීර්ඝව කාලයක් මතක තියාගන්නේ? විභාග ප්‍රශ්න පත්‍ර වලට උත්තර දෙන්නේ කොහොමද? වගේ ප්‍රශ්න ගොඩාක් ඔයගොල්ලෝ තුල ඇති. ඉතින් මම හිතනවා මගේ YouTube නාලිකාව හරහා වීඩියෝ මාලාවක් ඔයගොල්ලන්ට ගෙනත් දෙනවා මේ ප්‍රශ්න වලට ඔයගොල්ලෝ කොහොමද මුහුණ දෙන්න ඕනේ. දරුවන් හැටියට මේ ප්‍රශ්න වලින් ඕවර්කම් කරන්න, ඒගොල්ලෝ මේ ප්‍රශ්න වලට පිළිතුරු සපයා ගන්න කොහොමද කියලා වීඩියෝ මාලාවක් අපේ YouTube නාලිකාවෙන් අපි ගෙනත් දීලා තියෙනවා. ඉතින් රැඳෙන්න එකතු වෙන්න අපේ YouTube නාලිකාවත් සමග ඔබගේ යාළුවන්ටත් මේක ෂෙයා කරන්න. ඒගොල්ලන්ට ගොඩාක් වැදගත් වෙයි. වැදගත් විදිහට පිළිවෙලින් අපේ වීඩියෝ අපි නිපදවලා තියෙනවා. ඒවා නිවැරදිව ක්‍රමවත්ව ගොඩනගලා තියෙනවා. ඉතින් ඒවා ඔයගොල්ලෝ බලලා ඔයගේ යාළුවන්ට ෂෙයා කරලා මේ අත්දැකීම, මේ එක්ස්පීරියන්ස් එක අනිත් අයට ලබා දෙන්න. ස්තුතියි අපි එක එකතු වුණාට. ඉදිරියට අපිත් සමග රැඳී සිටී කියලා ආරාධනා කරනවා. ස්තුතියි.